Imagine this. In the heart of the wild African savanna, a team of fearless wildlife police officers stumbles upon a desperate mother elephant trapped by a monstrous 30-foot python coiled around her calf. With hearts pounding and adrenaline surging, these brave heroes gear up for an epic showdown against nature's deadliest predator. Will they save the day? Stay tuned for the thrilling tale. In the heart of the dense African savanna, where the sun dipped low on the horizon casting golden hues over the vast landscape, a team of dedicated wildlife police officers embarked on their routine patrol. Led by Captain Raj, a seasoned veteran with a scar across his cheek from a past encounter with poachers, the group consisted of 5 brave souls: Officer Lena, the sharp-eyed tracker; Sergeant Mike, the muscle of the team with his unyielding strength; Rookie Jamal, eager to prove himself; and Specialist Kira, an expert in animal behavior who could read the wild like an open book. They rode in their rugged jeep, bouncing over uneven terrain, their radios crackling with updates from base camp. Little did they know, this day would etch their names into the annals of heroic tales. The air was thick with the sounds of the wilderness, distant roars of lions, the trumpeting of elephants in the distance, and the rustle of leaves underfoot from hidden creatures. Captain Raj wiped sweat from his brow, his keen eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of trouble. "Stay alert, team," he barked, his voice steady and commanding. "Poachers have been spotted in this area, and we can't let them harm another animal." Officer Lena nodded, her binoculars pressed to her eyes, spotting a herd of elephants grazing peacefully near a watering hole. But something felt off. The usual calm of the savanna seemed disrupted by an unnatural silence in one corner of the brush. As the jeep crested a small hill, the team caught sight of the majestic mother elephant first. She was enormous, her wrinkled skin glistening under the fading light, but her movements were labored, as if burdened by an invisible weight. The officers exchanged worried glances. "That doesn't look right," murmured Specialist Kira, her expertise kicking in. "Elephants like her should be with the herd, not isolated." The group decided to investigate closer, parking the vehicle and proceeding on foot through the tall grass. Unbeknownst to them, coiled in the shadows of an ancient baobab tree, a colossal serpent lurked, its scales shimmering like armored plates, eyes glowing with primal hunger. The stage was set for an unforgettable clash between human valor and nature's fury. The officers moved cautiously through the tall grass, their boots crunching softly on the dry earth. The mother elephant stood alone, her massive frame swaying slightly as if in distress. Her trunk hung low and her ears flapped weakly, a stark contrast to the vigor elephants usually displayed. Specialist Kira crouched, studying the ground for clues. "Look at these tracks," she whispered, pointing to deep, erratic grooves in the dirt. "Something's been here, something big." The team spread out, their senses heightened, aware that danger could strike from any direction. Captain Raj signaled for silence, his hand resting on the tranquilizer gun at his hip. As they approached the elephant, her eyes met theirs, filled with a mix of fear and desperation. She let out a low, mournful trumpet, her massive legs trembling. Lena climbed a nearby ridge for a better view and gasped, her binoculars revealing the source of the elephant's plight. "Captain, you need to see this," she called softly, her voice trembling. Raj joined her, and his jaw tightened at the sight. A massive coil of scales glinted in the underbrush, encircling a nearby clearing. The mother elephant's calf was trapped within, its small form huddled against a rock, too terrified to move. "It's a python," Kira confirmed, her voice steady but grim. "One of the largest I've ever seen. It must be over 30 feet long." The team gathered, their faces pale but determined. The snake hadn't fully constricted the calf yet, but its presence was a clear threat to both the baby and its mother. Mike cracked his knuckles, ready for action, while Jamal's eyes widened, his rookie nerves showing. "We can't let it hurt them," he said, gripping his radio tightly. Raj nodded, his mind racing. "We need to act fast, but we can't rush in blindly. That snake could crush any of us in seconds." The team retreated a few paces to regroup, their eyes never leaving the mother elephant, who stood protectively near her calf despite her own fear. The savannah seemed to hold its breath, the tension palpable as the officers realized the scale of the challenge ahead. They weren't just facing a snake, they were up against a force of nature, and the lives of two elephants hung in the balance. The team crept closer, their hearts pounding as the full scale of the giant python came into view. Its body was as thick as a tree trunk, its scales a mosaic of earthy browns and greens that blended seamlessly with the jungle. The snake's head rose slowly, its cold amber eyes locking onto the officers with unsettling intelligence. Its tongue flicked out, tasting the air, sensing their presence. The mother elephant trumpeted again, a sound that echoed with both defiance and fear, her massive feet stamping the ground as she tried to shield her calf. "Holy smokes," Mike muttered, his usual bravado faltering as the snake uncoiled slightly, revealing more of its terrifying length. The beast slithered forward, its movements fluid yet deliberate, each motion rippling with raw power. Lena clutched her rifle, her hand steady despite the sweat beading on her forehead. "It's sizing us up," she warned, her tracker instincts kicking in. Jamal, still green, took a step back, his breath shallow. "That thing could swallow us whole," he whispered, half in awe, half in terror. Captain Raj held up a hand, signaling calm. "Stay focused," he said, his voice a low growl. "It's not after us yet. It's got its eyes on the calf." Kira nodded, her mind racing through her knowledge of reptiles. "Pythons constrict their prey," she explained. "If it wraps around that calf, we won't have much time." The snake hissed, a sound like steam escaping a pipe, and began to circle the clearing, its body forming a living wall around the trembling calf. The officers froze, their training battling their instincts to flee. The mother elephant let out another desperate cry, her trunk reaching toward her baby, but unable to break through the snake's domain. Raj's eyes narrowed, his resolve hardening. "We're not losing them," he said firmly. "We need a plan, and we need it now." The team exchanged determined nods, their fear giving way to purpose as they prepared to face the monster before them. The battle began with a flare bursting into the sky, its red glow casting eerie shadows across the clearing. Mike roared, waving another flare like a torch, drawing the snake's attention. The python's head snapped toward him, its eyes glinting with predatory focus. It lunged, its massive body surging forward with terrifying speed. Mike dove behind a boulder, the snake's jaws snapping inches from his boots. "Keep it moving!" Raj shouted, firing a warning shot from his tranquilizer gun, the dart grazing the snake's scales, but failing to penetrate. Lena took aim from the ridge, her rifle steady as she tracked the snake's movements. She fired a shot near its tail, hoping to provoke it away from the calf. The python hissed, its body coiling tighter around the clearing, but it didn't retreat. Jamal, hands shaking, lit another flare and tossed it toward the baobab tree. The sudden light made the snake recoil, its head whipping back as it hissed in irritation. Seizing the moment, Kira crept toward the mother elephant, whispering soothing words to calm her. The elephant's ears flicked, her trust in Kira growing despite her fear. Raj charged forward, wielding a long pole to prod the snake's flank. The python turned on him, its coils loosening slightly as it focused on the new threat. "Now, Lena!" Raj yelled. Lena fired again, this time hitting a softer patch of scales. The snake thrashed, its tail whipping wildly, knocking Jamal off his feet. Mike grabbed him, pulling him to safety as the snake's body slammed into the ground, sending dust clouds billowing. The calf squealed, scrambling toward its mother, but the snake's tail lashed out, blocking its path. In a desperate move, Raj climbed onto a low branch, waving his arms to keep the snake's attention. "Come on, you monster!" he taunted. The python lunged, its jaws wide, but Raj dodged, jamming his pole into its mouth. The team seized the opening. Mike and Jamal threw more flares, creating a wall of light, while Lena fired another shot. The snake writhed, disoriented, its coils loosening enough for Kira to guide the calf free. The mother elephant trumpeted triumphantly, rushing to her baby's side, her massive form shielding it from the snake's final weakened lunge. Under the fading light, the officers huddled behind a cluster of acacia trees, their voices low as they devised a strategy. Captain Raj sketched a rough map in the dirt, marking the snake's position and the calf's location. "We need to distract it," he said, pointing to the clearing. "If we can draw it away, we might get the calf out." Kira suggested using flares to disorient the snake, noting that reptiles often react strongly to sudden light. Mike volunteered to take the lead, his strength ideal for creating a diversion. Lena scouted the perimeter, returning with news of a narrow path behind the baobab tree. "We can flank it from there," she said, her eyes bright with determination. Jamal, still nervous, offered to carry the flares, eager to contribute despite his fear. Raj assigned tasks. Mike and Jamal would set off the flares, Lena would cover them with her rifle, and Kira would guide the mother elephant to safety once the calf was free. Raj himself would lead the charge, ready to use the tranquilizer if needed. As they prepared, the snake tightened its coil, its scales scraping against the rocks with an eerie rasp. The calf whimpered, and the mother elephant's agitation grew, her massive form swaying dangerously close to the snake. A sudden lunge from the python sent the team scrambling for cover, a reminder of its deadly speed. "Now or never," Raj whispered, handing out the flares. Mike cracked a grim smile, ready to face the beast. The team moved into position, their pulses racing as they steeled themselves for the fight. The savannah seemed to pulse with their resolve, every rustle of leaves amplifying the stakes of their mission. As the sun set, the officers gathered, exhausted but triumphant. Captain Raj looked at his team, pride in his eyes. "We did good today," he said. Ira smiled, noting how the mother elephant's trust in them mirrored their duty to protect. Jamal, no longer just a rookie, stood taller, his courage proven. Lena and Mike exchanged a nod, their teamwork unbreakable. The savannah returned to its natural rhythm, a testament to their bravery. The officers drove back to base, vowing to protect the wild, their hearts full of purpose, knowing they'd saved 2 lives and made a difference.